Ladies and gentlemen, we're here at Galot Motorsports Park. Been beautiful weather here today. We're having a pool here tonight. Let me tell you, we got a tons and tons of classes here tonight. Everything from super stocks, light super stocks. We got run run what you brung. That's going to be a heck of a combo because you got diesel trucks with three turbos, two turbos, and all the way down the line, we got the Carolina Truck and Tractor Pullers Hot Farms and Pro Street Diesels. And I'm joined by
Shane Hunt with the Motorsports Almanac.
And Nathan Kiger, I'm the driver of Wishbone Reloaded pulling tractor in the hot farm class.
So let's talk a little bit about some of the classes that we have here running tonight. And I got it pulled up on my phone here. Hang on just a second. Of course, it switched off the page. Just some of the names that we're going to talk about here tonight. I'm just going to start off with mini rods because that's kind of a class to my heart. I'm a 2,050 pound. I love mini rods. One of the biggest things that I see here tonight, you have people like Tim Ray, you got Tim Cutshaw, you got Ty Miller here, and you got Cody Singletary. And Cody has been running the Grand National Circuit, NTPA all season long. Really, Cody runs anywhere he can run, but he's here with us tonight with both of his. This is going to be one heck of a show as far as mini rods. Alan Cutshaw, he's running a big block Chevrolet, which you would think that's not going to be competitive, but something about that chassis works for that one. So just talking about some of the vehicles that we have here tonight, Super Beast, Robbie O'Donnell. This is going to be a great show. Hey, Logan, come here. No, Logan's walking away. Logan's making his last voyage on his sled. His sled is going to California after this weekend. So he's probably a little sad. But let's go into light pro class. We've got a lot of local guys here in that one. And some of these guys you're familiar with, Nathan. You got Dewey Jones on the Halls. Looking down the list. But you've also got some big names. You got Matt Smith here. James Van Hoyt's one of our local guys. We got Matt Smith. He's actually running twice. And some names I'm not as familiar with, and you might be familiar with some of these guys. I'm not sure. But, the train wreck, Noah Allison, and Greg Faringer. You know those guys?
Yeah, Noah Allison actually purchased the tractor it was in the Region 2 circle on the NTPA a little while ago, but he bought both Always Something by Travis Tilton, I think was his name. And then he also bought Trip My Trigger from the Lammers there in Ohio.
Right.
And Noah has really taken to that tractor. He hasn't really ran the other one nearly as much as the train wreck, but it's a really strong running tractor. He has literally ran everywhere all summer. He's ran USA East. He's ran in Ohio with OSTPA, and he's ran NTPA regional points over there in Region 2 some this summer too.
Well, and that's one of the things that I'm kind of figuring out. In order to get good across the nation, you really have to run across the nation. We've watched Cody Singletary this year. Holt Strickland is going to be here tonight also in the mini rods. And, both of those have run the Grand National Tour, and they have learned a lot by driving with all those different drivers, running the different sleds with the Bauer sleds and stuff like that. But, Nathan, let's go to you for a second. You pretty much run local. You run on our Carolina circuit, and you run with the United Pullers of the Carolinas. But, that tractor started out as a super stock, and the only reason why it was really a super stock, it was a big cubic inches, and it had a big turbo or something. Can you explain that to us?
So that tractor's got a really interesting story. So Esden Lane helped to build a lot of the rear end stuff. It was a modified puller up in Minnesota who bought it. And so they had the tractor. They ran it for a little bit. It had a pretty bad accident one time. So they hooked it too high. They hooked it on the wrong thing, on the wrong drawbar.
Right.
And so it went way up there, and then it actually came down, messed the motor up, messed the chassis up, messed a lot of stuff up. And I think soon after that, they rebuilt the chassis, and then it got sent off to Nebraska. So it ran in Nebraska. They've got kind of an interesting class out there. They put a 640 4.1 motor in it. Okay. And so out there, they ran in a light super stock, cast light super stock class. And so we actually purchased it from out there. And it didn't really fit many of the classes around here. So you might remember we ran in super stock.
Yeah, you had to run in super stock.
Yeah, so we had to run in super stock.
Yep.
And really, at that time, there's not quite as many super stocks that were pulling, but a lot of them waiting on parts and stuff like that. And so we were able to I think we got a second one time. I don't think we ever won. But we were definitely down on power. But that was a big learning curve. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of fun to jump on a super stock or jump on something like that and learn a lot.
Well, and that was one of the things. And honestly, down here, it may actually benefited you a little bit of maybe stay in the super stock class a little bit because our hot farm class, man, it's super tight competitive. It is. I mean, if you look in the points, second, third, and fourth, or I think within 5 or 7 points of each other, and Zacky's been kind of on a tear, but now he's had a couple of international guys have kind of thrown him a curveball along with a couple other John
Yeah,
Deeres.
we've gotten a lot closer. At one point, he was just about unbeatable. I mean, I think for a while there, I mean, a couple of years ago, he didn't really lose. But we're starting to get a hold of him. We're kind of understanding a little bit of what's going on. We're finally making our way to get close to him. He's still really good. One thing about Zachy is he's got a great tractor, but he makes a consistent pass.
Oh yeah,
he never misses his setup. He never misses his tire pressure. He goes A to B nearly every time.
well, and that's one of the other things we don't talk about pulling as much. Everybody's talking about the big win. Everybody wants that big, massive win where you win by like 20 feet, nobody touches you. But one thing about it in pulling, I've won modified championships because I was there every weekend. I made A to B passes, and I wasn't top dog. I didn't have the most horsepower, but that person that had the most horsepower was constantly having to work on it.
Right. Well, and that was sort of where we were at in Superstock a little bit was, we didn't have the most horsepower, but we can make an A to B pass for the most part. But we kind of got to the point once we messed the motor up, we realized that if anybody else makes an A to B pass, we're going to have a hard time winning. Right. And I just didn't like the fact that, I'm sitting there on the sidelines, nearly hoping somebody, messes up the setup or messes something up.
You don't want it to happen, but you're like, I just want to get up there.
That got to be a bad feeling.
Yeah.
So we went to Hot Farm. It's kind of a growing class in the area. It's sort of similar to Super Farm in a way that it's so close. I mean, everything's tight. And I really like that. Some people think that is a negative, having, 13, 14 tractors and we're all really close, but I really like that. I really like having close competition. You get to know a lot of your competitors. And it really makes sure you're on your P's and Q's.
Well, White Pickler and the Game Changer Smoke just pulled in.
Yep.
He actually picked up his first win last year in Silco. But one of the things about him, that's what he's working on. He's working on trying to get consistent. Yep. And let's talk about a little bit something you found. You were telling me today when we were walking through the pits, you found a bad injector,
right?
And you've been running all season, and you may have been running the bad injector.
Yeah, so it's kind of wild. So we started out at the beginning of the year. We were out in Florida. We went down to Florida. We ran a couple pulls there. It ran really well. I think we were a foot and a half, 2 feet behind Zachy. We were right on him. We really thought we had found something after the state fair. We had made some adjustments. We thought we'd really found something. We come back here, we go to Pine Tops, and we ended up turning the fuel up a little bit more then. And we think that's when we messed up an injector because we saw that, you could look down the track, and I really wondered when I look back at the video, there's a little bit of white smoke that came out about a quarter of the way down the track. And we looked at it, and I thought it might be water injection. I checked the water injection. Pressure was consistent. Everything was consistent. So I was like, well, maybe I'm just seeing things. Maybe it's lighting or maybe it's something like that.
Right.
But it turns out this year, everything that we've done is just kind of done about the opposite. So, if we turn the fuel up or something, it's just doing different than what the data logger, what we think was going to happen. And so we really had a hard time getting heat into the tractor. The tractor really the boost has been going down. Just kind of had a really difficult time getting everything dialed in, especially considering how good we were in Florida. So we looked through a lot of things, everything from air density to tire pressure to gear to changing all kinds of stuff. And so eventually we were talking to Ray Briggs, and he was talking about injectors and stuff. And he was telling us how, he had a difficult time with injectors with his tractor and that we should really check them. And so we were able to check them the other weekend, and we found out that our number 6 injector was pretty much just dripping fuel. So there was no atomization. We really had, it actually only 4 of the 5 holes were actually letting fuel out. And so it was really a problem there. And that was, in some ways, it's a good thing to find that problem because that was, we think, where we're losing a lot of power and why everything's been so confusing.
And I guess the thing, if you're watching from home, I guess this is one thing we talk about in pulling is that those injectors. So if that injector, you may have been, that injector may have been forcing out the proper amount of fuel,
right,
but it wasn't atomizing. So it wasn't able to burn that fuel properly. But you even said your temperatures.
Yeah, it was really amazing. I mean, our temperatures were very, very close. But, we talked to Brad Gautier. He helps us out with a lot of the motor stuff. And he was kind of saying that he had seen that before where the temperatures don't really decrease that much, but that your atomization is not burning as smoothly and as cleanly as you need it to in order to get all the power out of it. So I was real surprised to see that because typically that data logger will pick that up and we think it would, but this time it didn't. And, it's really hurt us this season. I mean, we've seen, we kind of slowly been going down the pile and we've been choking at the end a lot more. But we're hoping tonight we figured it out. So,
well, I mean, we still have pullers rolling in here, folks. So if, I did a live broadcast a little bit earlier and, we had about 40 vehicles here at that point, but just I'd probably say the last half hour, I've seen at least 8 to 10 to 12. I mean, they've been pretty much rolling in, folks. A lot of these pullers a lot of people don't realize a lot of these pullers work an everyday job, so they're taking a half a day off and coming out here and running, and and so this is their weekend hobby, just like it is for us. But let's go ahead and hit some of these other classes. Don't forget, folks, tonight, Galot Motorsports Park, 7 p.m. tonight, showtime. Come on out here. Come out here early. Walk the pits. This is going to be a different kind of show than you've seen with some of the classes here, where we kind of got a little bit of a mix. We're running with the run what you brung, and we've got that pro stock or the limited pro stock and the light pro stock class.
Right. Yeah, and that limited pro stock class, that's not what we call down south anyway. Limited pro stock to us is the 4.1 Charger.
Right.
So limited pro for USA East, they run a pump. If I'm not mistaken, they weigh 9,000 pounds.
That is correct. And
Someone
so
have to correct me on that if I'm wrong, but either way, I've talked to Mr. Richard Love about this quite a bit, and he's found a way to keep it balanced. And coming into the night's hook, Mike Weakland's in the points lead, but Farringer is right there with him in second place. I think he's like 4 points ahead or something like that. It's a small margin coming into their final hook of the year.
Well, and this being a Carolina points hook also. So, all the hot farms, the Pro Street diesels, the mini rods that are here, and I feel like I'm missing a class, the light pros, those guys, even though they're not going to be getting the points for full pull, they're going to be getting the points for Carolina. So some of those, if they weren't able to come this weekend, or say, especially in the hot farm class with second, third, and fourth, basically intertwined or pretty close, the way our point scale is on the Carolina side, one bad run in a class with 10 tractors, that can make a real big difference. I mean, Zacky's actually still in reach with the amount of hooks we got left. We only have 2. We got 2 this weekend and 1 in Hickory. So,
that just shows just how consistent the class is. I mean, from night in and night out, we've got guys who are really close to each other. And you're right. If you mess your setup in any of the time, or if you have a bad injector, it sort of puts you down in the list. Going to kind of go to the end a little bit. And so it's really this class has been a neat class because it is so close, and it's so everybody's real close to each other, and we're able to we learn from each other. But it's night in and night out. Anybody can win. And
we talk about the 2 different tire sizes a little bit, and that can give you an advantage. You either got, I call it a tall skinny tire, or you got the wide fat tire.
Right.
And that can make a difference on gear ratio. The other thing is too, if that track's hooking real hard and you got that big wide tire, that can be a disadvantage.
Yeah, it can.
I mean, because it will load you down if that track's hooking hard, not only with that track hooking hard, but that sled's going to hook even harder when those blowdown hits.
Right. Yeah, it's all about having your setup right. And we run the wider tire. And I think majority of people are running the wider tire, but we're seeing a lot of people with 20.8s. They're doing pretty well. If you look, and some of the fans, maybe if you're here and you're able to look at it, you can see that typically the 20.8s run about a mile an hour faster than everybody else.
Right.
But when you get to the end, you can see those 20.8s will break loose a little
quicker. Yeah.
And so we're able to really lug a lot. I think the 24.5s are better on the big end.
Right.
But then the 20.8s are able to get a little bit more speed down the track. And that's just, that's part of the game. And really a lot more than even which tire you run. It's how you run it. It's how you put your gear in the right spot. It's your tire pressure, making sure your cut's the right way, making sure everything's fresh and ready to go.
Well, you look at the Sturdivants, they're running one tractor with the tall skinny and one with the short fat. And, the Cornfield Express was Sturdivants and before, until this year, until his dad took over but one of the things I noticed about that tractor, certain tracks with that Cornfield Express, he was pretty dang tough to beat. I mean, that was a tough tractor, but now he's brought that red iron and he's been tuning on it. He picked up his first win in Greenville this year. Yep. So that tractor, he's figuring that out. And Sturdivant's not one guy. He may not say a lot of words, but he's always thinking about how to set that track up.
Yeah. Justin's always on something. He's always, coming up with the next idea and the next thing to make it work. And you can see it when he runs. I mean, he makes A to B passes, and you can just tell he's always figuring something out. You watch him. I mean, you watch him walking down the track. I mean, he gets a feel for the track. He reads the track. But that's what it takes. That's what it takes when you're in a tight class. You've got to do every little thing that you can take
just to get that inch or two out. But let's hit a few more of these classes. We talked about a dual fuel. That's going to be a little bit different setup here tonight, because that's basically going to be pro stock tractors against super stock tractors. And so you're talking about big cubic inch single turbo.
Yeah.
compared to multi-turbo big cubic engine.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we have names that have ran the Grand National Circuit all year long. Some that have just ran the USA East, but run the Grand National Circuit when they can. Just off the top of my head, the Martins are here with, I think they brought 2. Mr. Corey or Chris Hoyt's here with Nutcase.
Yep.
Out of Chickasha, Pennsylvania. Still has the case block in that tractor.
That's crazy.
It is angry whenever it comes up to the starting line. Whenever you're up in the tower tonight, you're probably going to look at it and you're going to see a little bit of fire coming out of it.
Right.
That's just, if it's doing that, it's happy. Obviously, we have the Stricklands here with their tractors. They have 2 of them here. Let's see who else is here. Amari Harrell's here with the Kubota.
Yeah, that's
actually
the
second one I've ever seen. I have one down by me. I'm not really sure what class he classifies.
That's it. I believe it's either a light pro or a hot farm, and it's something like a hot farm type setup. That's the only multi-charger Kubota with the M8 body. The other one's got an M7 body on it. Yeah,
Nice.
Actually, the owner of that tractor is my boss. I actually work about an hour from here. So
do you now? Okay.
So we actually have a different name for that. The name of that tractor is called Pure Country. We call it the Jackass because whenever we have to work on it, it's just a pain in the butt to work on. It's actually a lot simpler now than what it used to be. Robbie Crutchfield has done some amazing machine work on that thing. And you used to, when you adjusted valves on that, you had to remove. Say you broke a rocker arm on number 7. You would have to remove about 80 bolts to get to that, remove that one rocker arm. But that was the original design head that Robbie Crutchfield made back. That was 20 years ago.
Yeah, I remember my brother running against him years ago. Does he still have Brutal Force, or is he pretty
He
well?
is sold, that chassis is actually under a different, is actually owned by Andy, and also he's building another one.
Oh,
He's got another
now?
engine. It's going to be a
Okay.
light one. It's going to be, we're going to get, huh? I don't know. It's mine. Why? Yeah.
We've got a whole clan coming up here now.
Oh, what am I going to get? Am I going to get molested?
Oh, we just felt like coming to being on television.
Oh my goodness. So as we're getting, as we're not,
It's been shamed.
okay. Well, I mean, I appreciate y'all joining in a little bit. Hey, so since we got Logan here and you can't hear it, but anyway, Logan, so this is going to be your last weekend with your sled. How you feeling about it?
Well, everybody keeps asking me if I'm going to cry. I say no. When he hooks to it to leaves tomorrow night, I think I'm going to kick it just as hard as I can right in the middle of that back door and just say, bye, go on, get out of here. It's time for a new one.
Well, you had some rough luck with that sled this year. You slung it around a few times.
It's been,
You're excited for the next one, though.
Yeah. Are you going to paint it red again?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's getting black wheels. If that's got
You
black
gonna get black wheels
when I
on?
quit, I resign.
So, folks, if you join us at home, this is the Carolina crew that kind of helps us out week in and week out. This is a full pull production show, but the Carolina crew is kind of a tag team kind of event. Why is everybody walking? Oh, are you going to get
We're going
everybody?
to show the camera upward.
Oh, you're going to shove the. You're going to shove the.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. Get the whole
Yeah,
crowd. That's the
everybody's
whole
back
crowd. Hey, everybody, wave at home. Yeah, yeah. You're getting seen by 3 people probably. That's about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You get my numbers up. Go back and put it on repeat and watch it over and over again. Huh? Well, I know. Well, I mean, why would you not?
We just wanted to come camera bomb for
Yeah. Well, that's okay. You ain't
Yeah,
bothering
why
me.
not?
Okay, that's right. Just unplug some stuff. That's okay.
Yeah.
if I get the camera back on.
That's close enough.
Yeah, it's
They ain't
over
gonna
where it
miss. They ain't
needs to
gonna
be.
miss for so much.
No. So the actual really fun part for me, with the sleds that are here this weekend.
Yeah.
Last winter, the new gunmetal gray sled.
Right,
It's still
right.
technically the new one. Mr. Love actually gave us the opportunity to help reveal that sled that he built
Right.
last winter. And we have an article posted up still on our page, Motorsports Almanac. And I think we're going to get to do the new red one too. I've already kind of got a teaser video made and just
Yeah,
put a little
I was-
sound to it.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit about it earlier, and they've already got parts of it together, and they're going to be finishing up. It's going to be red, and it's going to have black rims. Black rims.
Yeah, they've tuned out of us now.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah, but still, it's gonna be a lot of fun though. I'm really excited. That's something that we really enjoy doing.
Well, and that's the cool thing about it is that's kind of the unveil because that gunmetal gray with the black rims with full pull is just amazing to look at that. And folks, if you're not familiar with Full Pull Productions, just go to them online, check them out. I'm telling you that this is their first time down south.
Yeah, they've
that
never
I
been
know
this
of.
far.
They've never been this far.
Right.
I'm not sure how they feel about the bugs, but you know, it's a little different down here.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to put on a really good show. I mean, I follow them all year long just because of us having our podcast show and everything. I kind of have to
Right.
stay in the loop with everybody, right? Just can't lock ourselves down to one group. But just they have their own mainstay names that compete on the major stages, but they're just as well becoming that other major stage with as many events as they do. I think they've done somewhere around 40 or 50 events this year alone.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here looking at the ones on the website, and you can go to fullpullproductions.com and you can actually see the event results live.
Yeah, you can.
Right there from their website. So if you're looking at, I mean, they started pulling, I mean, at the beginning of the season. I'm showing June 7th as their first one, and
Yeah, they were early.
Yeah, and well, see, that's early for y'all, but see, when do we start pulling here?
Yeah, when do y'all
Nathan,
start?
like April?
Yeah, we're in April.
If we're like first or second week in April, and look, we've been to pools before. Were you in Taylorsville when it snowed?
No, I wasn't in Taylorville when it snowed.
Oh,
Okay, so
yeah.
my wife does a lot of the videoing for Carolina, and we knew it was going to be cold. And so I brought a big jacket and, long sleeves and all that kind of stuff. My wife, she's cold natured. So she had on like 5 layers, and it started snowing. She took off like 3 of her layers and took my Carhartt jacket and stole it from me. And I can't fit in her jacket. I'm a big guy, so that's not going to happen. But it literally started snowing. It snowed for about 20 minutes.
Wow.
That was the coldest. I wouldn't say that's the coldest. Galax was the coldest. But that was one of the coldest pools I've ever been into.
Yeah, so now we'll kick off our normal Mid-South season, Mid-South Pullers.
Right.
We kick off in March down in Louisiana, actually. But then we have like April and almost all of May off. But we might get one on the 31st or 30th for that last weekend in May.
Yeah.
And then we're full throttle from there. I mean, we just wrapped up our season with Mid-South Pullers last weekend, I think it was, if not the weekend before.
Well, see, in the way it works here in the Carolinas, there's 2 organizations in North Carolina, United Pullers with the Carolinas and Carolina Truck and Tractor Pullers. And so UPOC finishes up their season next weekend at the NC State Fair. Carolina will finish theirs up in Hickory the following weekend. So we're running till the end of October, and then I think they go to Diesels in the Dark.
Yeah, Diesels and Dark Corners. That's one that's on my bucket list still.
Well, I'm not scheduled to go and do anything there, but I may go just for the fun of it because I found out the other day I have some extra days off that I thought I had already burned through. So my wife has already gone to France, so she's hit up her vacation, so I don't have to worry about that a little bit. So I can just go to Diesels in the Dark.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That's a great show too. I mean, you have 2.6s, 3.0s, 3.6s, Superstar.
They had, I think, like 40-some 2.6 last year.
And they're scheduled to have that many again this year, from what I've been told.
And I've talked to a lot of the ones in a lot of the ladies and guys in the pits.
They're going.
They're going. I mean, this is, if you get the opportunity to go, that's going to be the first weekend. I think it's the first weekend in November.
Yeah, it's November 1st and 2nd, I think.
Hang on, let me look that up. And while I'm mentioning this, I'm going to go ahead and bring this up real quick. They are going to be doing full pull picks. So if you're able to do full pull picks, download the app or go to full pull picks. And you'll be able to pick some of the vehicles out, and some of the names, Jeremy Yeager's here. I mean, so Jeremy, you know the names that are here.
Yeah, I mean, Jeremy Yeager won interleague pull-off, didn't he? If I'm not mistaken, here a few weeks back.
No, I know he won both nights in Fort Recovery.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, because I was there for that, and he was the happiest dude I've ever seen.
Oh yeah,
he was because evidently they've been battling some issues with that truck.
Yeah.
And they have finally got the bounce out of it, because Fort Recovery was a very aggressive track, and it was just hard on those guys with the horsepower that they're let me just go through some of the names in the run what you brung. Yeah. Jeremy Yeager, John Mans, Calvin Miller. That's another big name
Run
there.
in the red,
yep.
Cancer Survivor Edition, right?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about that just a few minutes ago. In fact, he gave me a T-shirt. Doug Martin, Jaden
Littman.
Let me tell you something. That is a bad truck, and if she gets locked in, buddy, That is going to be. She went up to Fort, and I'll bring up Fort Recovery in Bowling Green. She got to pull off at Bowling Green.
Yeah, she did. Her clutch was so hot though in the pull off, she couldn't really get going the way
Going-
she wanted to.
Yeah, and we were talking about that a little bit in the pit. So there are big names here tonight at Galot
Yeah.
Motorsports Park. If you came to the spring show, same thing there. There were big names
Yeah.
there. There are big names here. The other thing that you see here at Galot on this show is going to be a little bit different. Is a lot of diesels. You're going to
Yeah.
see a lot more diesels here. We do have some blower motors.
Yeah.
But, this is going to be a lot of diesels and a lot of alcohol tractors. There's going to be some bad stuff running here this weekend. Some stuff you've never seen before. Hopefully, we see some crazy action.
Yeah. You're gonna see the only nitrous pulling truck around too. It's here this weekend. That's gonna be in that Rummage Brung class. I think he's actually leading the points for the Rummage Brung.
He is, but I think 2. Yeah, I think is what we were talking about. Hang on, let me. If I'm thinking,
Jess Warren here with the shark bait too.
Yeah, we were talking about that because he unloaded out of the pits. That's a sick sounding
Have
Ford.
you ever seen it
Yeah,
run?
I've seen. Is that the yellow truck?
Yeah.
I've seen.
Yeah. That is just a sick sounding
Yeah.
truck.
But you want to talk about a story of improvement and how long someone's been battling the bad gremlins and the bad luck. That that truck, whenever it first came out, right? And obviously different sound. It catches everybody's attention.
Right.
So he's been battling, keeping it cool enough because at the end of the runs, that thing would always be on fire. Richard told me the other day he doesn't think it's been on fire once this year yet. But now whenever it comes off the starting line, it's going to leave the line in a huff. You're going to have a flame coming out of it. I'll tell you that right now.
I just turned the fuel up. Don't worry about the top of those pistons. Just go ahead and belt them down. Ain't that right now?
That's right. That's the way we win right there.
That's right.
We've still got haulers coming in here.
That's
This
what
one's
I'm
backing
saying,
up here. Beasley's just pulled in a couple minutes ago with theirs. Dewey's here.
Yeah, Dewey Jones. This is going to, if you love diesels, this is going to be a show to go to. You got Marty Harrell. Hopefully they're going to be able to get that tractor ironed out. Just to tell you what, with that Kubota Super Stock, one of the things is with the new cylinder heads that Robbie's put in it, they went to Lumberton to try to make a couple of passes on it. At idle temperature, it was at 1,500 degrees.
Really?
So found out after 2 hooks that the fuel pumps weren't big enough.
Oh, my.
And they had been running those same style fuel pumps for 20 years.
Yep.
Never had an issue with them. But those heads flow that much more air. The turbos are fresh. Everything's fresh. It was like 1,500. It has basically a green, yellow, and red light. And the yellow light was on when he was rolling out on the track. And then the red light came on as soon as he brought the throttle up.
Oof.
So, and if you ever need your eyes to water to flush them out or whatever, just let him fire it up in the pits and stand next to it.
That's going to be rich for you.
Yeah, Ed Idle, she's pretty rough. But folks, tonight, Galot Motorsports Park, definitely don't want to forget this. If you're not able to come tonight, go to WWP TV. They won't be able to live stream it. It's $24.99, but you'll be able to watch it. But folks, if you're able to get here. Yeah. If you're within an hour from here, come to the show. This is going to be a great show. John Strickland, they've got both the light super and the big super here, along with Holtz Mini. I mean,
Shelton's. I've got the pros here too.
Yep. Shelton's have got the pros. So, that's everybody's trying to get those last minute runs in to close out the season. So, folks, we're going to wrap things up. Nathan, I appreciate you joining us here today.
Thanks for letting me on.
Yeah. Good luck to you tonight. We'll see you. Well,
First class.
Yeah, first class. So
Yeah,
you better
first class the red sled. So should be ready to go here in a minute.
That's right. So we're going to close things out. Don't forget, go to Galot Motorsports Park here tonight. Showtime 7 p.m. This show is going to last 3 to 3.5 hours
Easily, yeah.
And so come out here. Great. One thing about Galot too, they got good food here.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they got good food, good vendorship. Everything's easy to get in and out of. You need bathrooms are easy to get to. Grandstands, a great grandstand seating here. Plenty of room to sit. So please come out here. 7 o'clock is $25. Go ahead and buy you a weekend pass. It's $40. You can come both nights. That's the best way to do it. So kick off 7 o'clock. We're going to wrap things up here. Yep. And we look forward to seeing you. I appreciate everybody. You want to join us here tomorrow? You going to be here tomorrow?
I'm not going to be here tomorrow. I'm only in here for one night. I've got to get back for a nephew's birthday party.
That's right, because you're actually on vacation right now.
Yeah, so I mean, I've been in Charlotte all week long, kind of hiding out, doing the NASCAR thing.
Yeah.
As much as everybody says NASCAR is kind of going down the drain, I agree to a certain extent, but just seeing all the history going through the Hall of Fame. Richard Childress shop yesterday.
Oh, that's cool. That's
That-
cool. Yeah, if you've
yeah.
ever been there, that's one of.
Yeah, talk about getting chills going down your spine, man.
Oh
That
yeah, the
was-
holler being back there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that was
crazy.
whenever it really hit me. I was like, oh my.
Oh,
In
yeah.
fact, he stood here whenever they were going down the road and everything. Did the shop tour at Junior Motorsports. Highly recommend that.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, there's just all sorts of things to do
Oh yeah,
around there.
you can go up there and you can spend 2 or 3 days easy there.
Oh, yeah.
But tonight, Galot Motorsports Park, 7 p.m. Come on out here. We're gonna have one heck of a show here for you, Nathan. Good luck tonight to you, buddy, and we may see you tomorrow. We're gonna walk around, do some pit interviews, and we'll see how that number 6 injector worked out
Yeah,
for
we'll
you.
see how it works.
Yep. So got a ton of stuff. Appreciate you joining us here tonight. We're going to get things. Showtime 7 o'clock. Come on out here. Pits are open. Gates are open. Food is here. We're ready to get underway. In fact, you hear them testing the PA system out, and I want to go up there and be doing that for tonight. So, folks, we'll see you tonight, 7 o'clock. Yeah, that's a crazy crowd.
They're still going over there, aren't they?
Look, they ain't even drinking. That's the sad part.
I know.
I
That's
know.